Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andre Rainey. I am the proud mayor of the great city of Peekskill. Today's date is July 21st, 2020, and I'm joined by our great city manager, Mr. Andy Stewart. Good afternoon, Andy. How are you?
I'm doing great, Mayor. It's good to be with you.
Always, likewise, likewise, likewise. So today we're giving you another weekly update on what's going on in the city of Peekskill. We have some pretty interesting news today. As many of you may or may not know, we're trying to keep the people updated on what's going on in our city on a weekly basis. And currently, we have to keep you informed of what's going on because of COVID. But even when COVID is done, we plan on keeping you informed of what's going on in the city of Peekskill as often as we can for the remainder of this year and hopefully the same thing next year. So the first thing I want to start off by saying is, as many of you may know, Big Skill Walks and other members of the community, as well as the Bean Runner Cafe, Ted and Drew, put together a wonderful proposal to close off Esther Street just to help local businesses in the area and the downtown as well as allow people to come more frequently and more freely in our city. And this last night, the city council, myself and the city council, approved the actual closure of Esther Street, and we're looking forward to seeing what happens to that street. It's going to be somewhat of a parkland, a public area for people to meet, people to sit down and just enjoy the outdoors, and of course, patrol and support the local restaurants. So I thank the Peekskill Walks, I thank the Bean Runner Cafe staff and team, and I thank everybody who contributed to making this a possibility because it's looking like it's going to be a great thing on the other side of our great town of Peekskill.
Yeah, just to add to that, because it is exciting, Mayor. There's a couple of building blocks to that. One is that the Bean Runner and the coffee house will both be having, tables out for starters. So those restaurants have made applications to the city to have outdoor dining, and really pleased to
Nice.
see that. So that's part of it. The other part of it is putting those barriers up so that cars can't turn down the street and can't come up from Brown Street. So that's important. And the DPW, which is just great people, they're going to be putting those in place soon. They're heavy, they have to be moved into place with heavy equipment. Once they're there, they protect people. So that's part of it. And the next little bit, we're just starting with baby steps, but the next thing would be to put some picnic tables in the public area there so that if someone's walking through, they have a place to sit down. If they've gotten takeout, they can sit down and have some food. We might need an extra trash can. But the real excitement, I think, is going to come when the artists and the businesses in that area really start to think about maybe adding some outdoor art and creating some fun things to attract people over there. And that's really the next step. So the first thing to do is to cut it off for traffic, make it safe, enable those restaurants to expand their operations in a COVID-safe way, and then start to build upon that.
Absolutely. Great, great. So just some short good news that we can look forward to that I want to elaborate on too much, but I want to let the people know the city of Peekskill has joined the Westchester County Consortium. And we've already applied for, I believe, 3 different grants that there's a great chance the city of Peekskill will receive them. As many of you know, we've been working with the Deputy Mayor Ken Jenkins and the County Executive, I'm sorry, Deputy County Executive Ken Jenkins and the County Executive George Latimer over the course of the last couple of years, and they've done nothing but great things for the city of Peekskill as well as Senator Pete Harcum. So I'm really thankful for all of the work that they've done, and they've encouraged us to join the consortium, the Westchester County Consortium, and we've already put in three applications for grants, I believe it is, and we're looking forward to seeing what happens.
Yeah, no, the funding that we're looking for through that program is for the water infrastructure of the city, and specifically the Hollowbrook Dam project, and making sure that's safe because it was rated as in need of repairs by the state, and that's a big ticket item, and we look for external funds for infrastructure like that. So that would be the first thing. But that participation in that program does come with other opportunities for the nonprofit sector,
Yes.
and others. So it is great to be working together with the county for sure on community development block grants. And the city council voted to appoint a representative from the city to participate in countywide meetings. That's going to be Cynthia Knox.
Congratulations, Cynthia.
So many good things. And of course, there's a lot of people in our community who could serve in that capacity. I'm sure others will step up. But on short notice, it was really nice of Cynthia to offer her time in that way.
Absolutely, and there's a lot to look forward to. I just want to switch gears a little bit and say thank you to we appointed 7 new volunteer firefighters this past week. So thank you to those wonderful people who are joining the firefighting team to handle all of the emergency calls that we get here in the city of Peekskill.
Yeah, and just with that, if I could just add in on that, Mayor, it's so important that you recognize that the efforts. I mean, especially when it's really hot out, you got to think about firefighters and the amount of gear that they wear, and for them to go into a building and clear it out and look for the smoke, take whatever actions are necessary. They're just cooking inside that equipment. And it's really important with volunteers there. They can rotate in. They can provide a vital support, and really, their presence is super important. And it helps save lives, helps keep people safe, and it really is a partnership with the career staff to make sure that there's enough people there to do the important tasks.
Certainly does, and that means a lot. I thank you for expressing that, because it's the truth. So our Peekskill Parks and Recreation has reopened certain programs to help keep our children busy these next few months during the summer, especially, as well as our Peekskill Youth Borough, who's been doing a phenomenal job with virtual events and online events and different things of that nature. The school district is making sure they keep our children busy with activities online. Some of the actual school district teachers have created YouTube channels to allow the kids to do reading and listening throughout the entire week. Some of the teachers from right here in our school district, so that's great. One of the things that we were able to do as a council last night was we were able to allow the Pop Warner football to begin, and I believe it's going to be at Franklin Park. I think it was.
I'm not sure which one it is.
I'm not sure which park it is. Yes, but they'll be doing Pop Warner pretty soon in the city too. So all of the young kids who are going to be interested in playing football, I look forward to going out there and support them however we can.
Yeah, and it's important that however we can, I think, is key, because as people know, with the changing public health guidance, right now team sports will be limited to practices where the kids can run drills, they can do skill building, they can do training, but at this time they wouldn't be allowed under the guidance, and the football league wouldn't be actually having team play and the people they would love to see. But that could change, and so it's good that they can get going with the training that they can, and then hopefully when conditions evolve, they'll be able to have a schedule of games and stuff.
Absolutely. So on a very, very important note, I just want to mention this, and I don't want to take too much time today. Is there's been a lot of, as people know, there's a lot of things going on across the nation, across our world right now with the COVID spread, as well as racial injustices and different practices. I just want to say, first and foremost, Andy sent a letter to staff a couple of days ago that was very heartfelt, and your leadership and what you've committed to this city since you've been here thus far is impeccable and much appreciated. So thank you for that awesome letter of heartfelt words, especially for those of us.
Thank you for that. I mean, the City of Peekskill as an organization is a progressive organization. It's an anti-racist organization, but that's aspiration, right? I mean, there's so much that needs to be done, but that's important work for all of us.
Absolutely. So I really thank you for that, and you put a lot of work into the city since you've been here. You came 2 weeks before pandemic was like the concept of the world. So thank you, and also to the Chief Homie. He's been under a lot of pressure the last couple of weeks because of what's going on across the nation, and he's been very, very, very proactive. A lot of suggestions that we're getting from the community. Fortunately, we took policing in our community we took it seriously and as a priority prior to the nation's response to what's going on in Minneapolis. This is something that we first decided we was going to do when we came in the city of Peekskill, which is why we created a liaison, which is why we get monthly reports now from the police department, which is also why we asked the chief to join us in certain meetings, such as the council meetings and the public housing authority meetings, as well as have a liaison to the youth borough and the school district. So we've been very active with the police prior to Minneapolis, but now it's just, there's always room for more. And we're working towards building that now. And under the governor's orders, we're looking to create somewhat of a, maybe not necessarily a task force, but a review board or a task force, whatever you prefer to call it. Thanks to Andy and the Chief Homie, we'll be doing that, and I'll be the chair of this board. We're going to be recruiting more people to get more people involved. I know members of the Human Relations Commission is extremely excited to be involved, and I know members of the community want to be involved. So once we get this a little bit more organized and structured, we're going to reach out to the community, do a few town hall meetings, and get more people to be a part of this. And we're going to make sure that we keep our city a safe city where the community and the police actually love each other, get along with each other, and work together to make the better future.
Yeah, no, it's a high priority for this year for sure to conduct a thorough, review of policing with a lot of input from the public. And so as we get that task force together with the mayor's leadership and Chief Homie on there, representatives of law enforcement, and we had conversations with Mayo Bartlett, who's co-chair of the County Police Task Force.
Mhm.
And it's important. There's going to be a lot of these, right? And
Yeah,
it will
of
be a little
course.
confusing because the county group, Mayo, and his group are actually going to hold a meeting in Peekskill in early August. And probably half the people who come out for that probably are going to think it's the local police department, but actually it's the county police department that is also needing to collect public comment and get
Mhm.
feedback. So
Absolutely.
there's a lot of work to do on this, and your leadership on that is appreciated, that of the police department. And we've had, we're in regular dialogue with Valerie Eaton of the NAACP and others, Martin McDonald, and we're gonna pull together a good group, and then that group is going to solicit input and presentations from other groups. So
Right.
there will be no group left out. We just have to create a structure so that we
Right.
keep track of all the good ideas and come up with a report and set of recommendations for the city council to
Yeah.
consider.
A unique plan for Peekskill. Absolutely. And I want to say congratulations to Martin McDonald too. He was appointed to the Westchester County Task Force, I believe.
Yep.
So we Peekskill always, as usual, has a voice at the table. So congratulations to him. So other than that, the last thing I want to say today, Andy, is to remind these people of our great community to please, please, please continue practicing social distancing. And unless you have a breathing issue or breathing challenges or health disorder, please, please, please wear your mask when you're in public places throughout the entire city, especially. It's not necessarily just to protect you, but it's to protect the others who may be vulnerable to the disease or to the virus, I should say. So the more safe we are, the better our community will be. So please
Yep.
continue to practice social distancing and wear your mask. And if you don't have a mask, you can contact the city of Peekskill, inbox me, email me, or you can even go by the Bean Runner Cafe, who's been giving out hundreds of design free masks. So there's really no excuse for anybody here not to have one. So if you need one, reach out. If you have them, please consider wearing them.